Welcome to the final night of the OperaLex 2020 virtual Encore event. Thank you for joining us this year in this special online platform. We look forward to a night of community, celebration, and most importantly, music. Without further ado, here are your hosts for the evening, Dr. Sandy Archer and Dr. Everett McCorvey.
Good evening and welcome to the final night of Virtual Encore 2020, sponsored by OperaLex. Once again, I'm your co-host for the evening, Sandy Archer. I'm proud to be serving as OperaLex president, and I'm thrilled to be with you again tonight. It's great to be sharing my hosting duties once again with the man that has a nonstop personality and an amazing vocal range, Dr. Everett McCorvey.
Thank you, Dr. Archer, and it's a delight to be here. We've had such a joy over the last 3 evenings listening and connecting with some of our students and alumni from past, and it's just been fantastic. We hope that you're staying safe and happy at home during this time, and we hope certainly that we're going to be able to see you again very soon, but we are certainly appreciative of you spending another evening with us.
As many of you know, we're used to being together in person for this annual event, but this year is definitely different. We've been delighted to present you our final of 3 nights of virtual Encore entertainment right from the comfort of your own homes.
We're going to start you off with a beautiful and unique collaborations. Opera lovers will know the duet from Lakme, but we're going to do it in a different way. We're going to do the duet as a quartet. We have so many students and alumni. So we have doubled the beauty and doubled the artistry. So please welcome UK alumni Rebecca Farley, Sarah Klopfenstein, Casey Nardalillo, and Gerald Cunningham Fleming singing the duet from Lakme.
I'm just flabbergasted. I'm losing adjectives to describe these performances. That was just beautiful. For those of you who aren't familiar with our organization, the mission of OperaLex is to enhance the general public's awareness and appreciation of opera in Central Kentucky and throughout the Commonwealth, primarily through support of the opera program at the University of Kentucky and Dr. Emma McCorvey, and including, but not limited to, awarding student scholarships under the direction of our board of directors and continuation of the corporation's educational and public programs. And for more information, you can go to our website at operalex.org.
We are so glad you're here, and we appreciate your support of OperaLex and UKOT. Our students are doing amazing things all around the world, but we could not do it without the financial support of OperaLex. Sandy Archer, his board, and the Bravo Guild do so much to make sure our university and its students can continue to provide the best training possible, and that our community can enjoy world-class opera right here in Lexington. We hope this evening will be a time of community and celebration, and we're looking forward to providing you with some wonderful entertainment.
And wow, do they bring incredible performances. The funds raised tonight will help us provide student scholarships, provide student outreach programs where we'll bring opera into schools throughout the Commonwealth, help support UKOT productions, the Metropolitan Opera National Council district auditions, and many other activities. You're in for a real treat again tonight. We're going to pass you on to some more music from these talented individuals.
We would like to take a moment to say thank you to all of our OperaLex sponsors: Liquor Barn, Alltech, Bryant's Rental, Central Bank, Doug Martin Law Office, WLEX, WUKY, Highbridge Spring Water, Keeneland, Monster Color, Portofino's, Ruth Hunt Candies, Stites and Harbison, Wyatt Law Firm, UK Healthcare, Stephen Webb, Myra Tobin, the Bravo Guild, and all of the OperaLex board members. Thank you all for your support of OperaLex. Now please enjoy the special message from our featured sponsor, Liquor Barn.
At Liquor Barn and Party Mart, we know that running out of your favorite drink isn't the end of the party. With the new Liquor Barn app, you never have to worry about running out of your favorite drink ever again. We deliver right to your door. When you are down to your last drop, use the Liquor Barn app for easy ordering and delivery. Liquor Barn and Party Mart, where Kentuckians go to celebrate life.
chi sarà, e come sarà giunto, che dirà, chiamerà, butterfly dalla lontana. Io senza dar risposta me ne starò nascosta un po' per Celia e un po' per non morire tutto questo verrà te lo prometto.
A few years ago, I was fortunate to reconnect with one of our alums, Reshma Shetty, who has gone on to a very successful television career. You may have recognized her in shows like Royal Pains, Pure Genius, Blind Spot, and many others. She was also in the national Broadway tour of the musical Bombay Dreams, where she played the lead. We sat down and talked with her about many things and her early artistic influences and what advice she has for young performers out there. So please enjoy.
So I got started in the arts basically because I was a child who lived in a very small village in England, so I needed an imagination. All I had to do on the weekends was ride my bike around and just make up stories for myself. I would sit in my living room and, put plays on and musicals. So it started then. Then my mother put me into piano lessons. And then she put me into classical guitar lessons. And then she put me into violin lessons because then I could be part of the orchestra. And so it just kind of became a side hobby, my only side hobby. I wasn't a sports person. I just enjoyed the group camaraderie of it, and I was being noticed for it. I was very quick, I had a good ear, and I just continued. But I always wanted to be on the stage. I don't know what it was about it. I always wanted to be in movies, but I was this little Indian kid living in England. Come on, there's no way, right? Movies are huge, they're in America. It's just a world that I couldn't ever touch. I'd grown up in a family of doctors, so that was the only world I knew. And the only world that was respected, really. But of course I'm Indian, so I grew up with Bollywood in my car, and I would get terribly car sick, so my mother would put on the music, and I would just, again, the imagination. And I would sit in the back of the car and hear this beautiful music, and imagine that I was the woman in the sari in the snowy Alps, without thinking, why is she in the Alps in a sari? But I just thought, it's so romantic, it's so beautiful, and I wanted to be that. Regardless, all of that was put aside. Music was a hobby. I went to college for pre-med, but I did a music minor, and nobody had allowed me to really sing till I hit my junior year of, the end of junior year of high school, because in every state you have honors choir, and it's a very high thing, and I got the highest score. I'd never taken a voice lesson. I just went to go do the audition because I was a musician. I could read the music, and all I had to do was sing and hit the notes right. Very fast forward, I just auditioned for the musicals and the operas at school as a bio major, and I got into them. And so all these music majors are kind of like, who's this kid? And it just evolved that I got mentors who believed in me. I had a teacher called Miss Whitmer and Dr. Little at James Madison University, and they sat my parents down and they said, you know, we believe that she has something. And I remember that I had a huge talk with my parents, who, you know, were a doctor family, right? I was like, Mommy, Daddy, if you don't give this to me, then I'm my whole life. I have one life to live. You can't take this away. And strangely, they said yes. And it just evolved. So then I came to, I was a senior in college. I got into, actually, nearly every school I got in audition for. I was going to go to Eastman School of Music. And I went to Bayview Opera Festival in Michigan. And I met a certain Cliff Jackson. And suddenly this amazing man, who's this amazing musician, started to talk to me about a certain Everett McCorvey. And Everett McCorvey works at the University of Kentucky. Why don't you, when you're auditioning at Cincinnati, come through? And I was like, okay. For you, Cliff, anything. And I came through, and I met Mr. McCorvey, and Dr. McCorvey, and I mean, then I was in a car doing a 7-hour drive, you know, in August, as a first-year master's student at the University of Kentucky. And again, the mentor thing comes in. Again, I had Dr. Everett McCorvey and Cliff Jackson mentoring me, making me into believing that whatever I wanted to do, I could do, which I think is very lacking in a lot of the very big schools. Because right after I went to Cincinnati Conservatory of Music, which was also an amazing experience in a different way. It was that I needed to be nurtured and grown, and then I needed to be like slam banged into, you know, it's so funny, the girl who was the coloratura soprano in my artist diploma program just did her Metropolitan Opera debut, you know, it was that hardcore. But if I hadn't had the mentoring and the safeness and the love that I got at the University of Kentucky, my passion for music and for the arts wouldn't have been ignited, because somebody had to believe in me, for me to believe in me, because you're so young. So then I left all those schools. I went to New York and I hit the pavement. And thankfully I hit the pavement running. Ups and downs, you know, you always have your like 2 months off that you're like, temp job, no. Wait, I thought I was an artist. And then you get the next job. And I'd always wanted to be an actress. But again, there weren't Indian actors on television. There was nobody for me to see as a peer. So I didn't think I could do it. But I could sing, and I could be anything. It didn't matter what the color of my skin was. I could play musetta, I could play Celine, I could do any of those things. But then I got lucky, and I scored a lot of roles that were Indian, and a lot of roles that weren't. And now it's just manifesting that journey. You have to be prepared for your destiny, because your destiny will come. And it's just when. So the moment that you hit school, you're preparing for that. The moment that you walk out of your door, it could be the call. And it's still the way. I still have the call at 5:30 at night, or 7 at night. Oh, here you go, Ashwin, 9 pages of sides. The audition's tomorrow. It's in front of the full creative team. What are you talking about? I can't memorize 9 pages in a night and give it justification here. You know, I can't do it. Doesn't matter. I've got to be prepared to do it, because somebody else will. Study, study, study. Continue studying. I'm taking an acting class starting. I'm actually missing it. My first class. I already apologize though. On Sunday, you know, keep the art up. When you leave school, you have not learned everything. In fact, you learn a lot on the job, actually. But keep it up. A huge belief in yourself has to be maintained, even on your lowest days, because you will get more rejections than you can possibly take. And the most amazing comments. I felt she was really cold in the audition. What are you talking about? It was the first time I did Shakespeare. I mean, stuff like that, you know, that you can't take personally, and it's hard. Have a really strong understanding of what it is that your goal is. Understand that, yeah, you have a music degree. What does that mean to you? Are you going to be okay being a teacher? Are you going to be okay being a waitress and struggling? Are you going to be okay having to sacrifice what you have to sacrifice? getting a support group around you, I think. You know, I've had to pay people to come do lines with me, because after a while I realized that I cannot bombard my husband and my sister as my line readers every day, you know? I could do it for hours. They have a life. So I have to get that system around me. And, you know, you got to be kind to yourself, because if you're not, New York and Los Angeles will eat you up. And I think you've just got to know there's always someone better. There's always someone prettier. There's always someone more talented. But you've got to find what you're really good at and what you convey. And I'm still doing that. I'm still trying to understand what is it that I do better than anybody else. And then luck. And you just got to accept it. You just got to be ready. And you've got to want it. If you don't want it more than anything else in the world, because your family will suffer, your friendship relationships will suffer, you've got to want that thing so bad. Don't get into it if you don't want it. There's so many easier lives to live. Last point, understand that it's okay to let go of it. Understand that just because you think you are this, life is not that. Life is so many other things. And it doesn't make you less that you didn't, you know, get your star on the Walk of Fame or whatever. You just do what you're supposed to do and do it really well, and destiny will find you.
We're getting ready to introduce you to some more special students and alumni, including one of our co-hosts this evening, Miss Jenna Day. Jenna is an alumna of UK Opera Theatre. You probably remember her from her beautiful performance in 2015 in our production of South Pacific. She was also Miss Kentucky in 2013 and represented UK and the university and the Commonwealth beautifully. Jenna is with some of our Getchell scholars, and we would like to turn the program over to her.
Thank you so much, Everett McCorvey and Sandy Archer, for having me back at Encore this year. We've had 2 phenomenal nights, and I know tonight is also going to be incredibly phenomenal, because I have with me some really, really special people. Now, they're special in general. They're special to Encore because they're our Getchell scholars, but they're also just special people to me because a lot of them are very friendly faces who I've gotten the honor of knowing and singing with. So what I want to do is I just kind of want to go across the group and have you guys introduce yourselves, say your name, when you graduated UK, or if you're still working on something at UK, and where you are locationally now.
Hi, my name is Katrine Thawley. I'm so excited to be with you tonight. And I graduated in 2016 with my master's degree, and I am currently cruising into the final stages of completing my doctorate. Crossing fingers for May 2021. So that's the goal. So I am still located here in Lexington, Kentucky, and I am the Associate Music Director for the Lexington Theater Company, and I also run a private voice studio here.
Wonderful. Awesome. Andre?
Hi, Jenna. Well, my name is Andre Campelo. It's been 3 years that I moved out of Lexington, and I had an incredible time there. I miss that place so much. Me and my family, we will always think fondly of that place. Well, I graduated in 2017, finishing my doctoral degree at that year. And now I live in Greencastle, Indiana, where I teach at DePaul University. I've been holding a position as assistant professor of music for 3 years now. I teach voice and voice-related courses here.
Hi, everybody. My name is Candice Williams. I just finished the master's program here at UK, May 2020. Very exciting. And right now, I'm still living in Lexington, just making sure that I'm ready for the world to open back up again, still practicing at home, doing what I have to do at home.
Awesome. And last but not least, Nicole.
Hello. It's so good to see you all again. I am Nicole Sombert, and I graduated in 2017. It's so great to see all your faces. Lexington and University of Kentucky hold a very special place in my heart. Those were many, many great years and great support. I am now the director of the Community Music School here at Appalachian State University. I live near Boone, North Carolina, and I teach voice for App State as well.
I want to know what the Getchell Scholarship meant to you and your time at UK.
The Getchell Scholarship came at a point in when there was a big transition in my family. We were going through some things, and I thought, we'll pay for this out of pocket for this to finish up these last final requirements for my master's. And I can remember standing in the office, Dr. McCorvey's office there, and I believe it was Chris Gilbert, and she handed me an envelope, and I said, "What is that?" And I opened it, and I'm reading this letter, and I just started bawling because it was such a gift to know that I could finish what was required of me without the financial strain that college can be, especially on, any student, but I think graduate students, when we're balancing work and school and family and all of these things, I think it was just such a precious gift that helped me finish my master's. So very grateful.
Could not have been given to anyone more deserving, I assure you of that. Thank you guys so much for being on. And I just want to talk to you guys, ladies and gentlemen, really fast. You've heard 3 nights of just some incredible, beautiful artists speaking about the things that they're doing in their schools, in their communities, and for themselves professionally. And you've heard just how much the Getchell Scholarship has affected the lives of these individuals, and is having that ripple effect where these individuals are going on to infect the lives of their students. And you know what's more contagious than Corona is like the beautiful, like, hope and gorgeous beauty that comes from your hearts and your music. And that is what we need to make more contagious. And so in order to do that, we need and rely on your generosity to continue to give to this amazing, worthy scholarship, and continue to believe in the arts so the arts can breathe new life into this world that needs new life so much. So I encourage you all to be generous tonight. Thank you so much, Ever McCorvey, Sandy Archer, for having me back. Thank you so much, you guys, to our Getchell Scholars. I celebrate you. I can't wait to just see all of the amazing things you're going to do. God bless you guys.
One waits so long for what is good, and when at last it comes, one cannot risk to lose. So one must speak and act quickly, even if it seems almost foolish to be so quick. I know it is only 2 weeks, a dinner given at your officers' club. Do you remember?
Yes.
And that's the way things happen sometimes, isn't it, Nellie?
Yes, it is, Emil.
Some enchanted evening, you may see a stranger. You may see a stranger across a crowded room, and somehow you know even then, that somewhere you see her again and again. Some enchanted evening, someone may be laughing. You may hear her laughing across a crowded room, and night after night, as strange as it seems, the sound of her laughter will sing in your dreams. Who can explain it? Who can tell you why? Fools give you reasons, wise men never try. Some enchanted evening, when you find your true love,
side and make her your own. Or all through your life you may dream all alone. Once you have found her, never let her go. Once you have found her, never let her go.
The Tom Getchell Scholarship is a matching fund and an opportunity to change lives of UK Opera Theatre graduate students by giving them the means necessary to continue their education and training. This scholarship is named in honor of the late Dr. Tom Getchell, who served as a board member and former president of OperaLex. With his wife's Marilyn's passing earlier this year, it now honors both of them. Both Tom and Marilyn were fierce champions of our students, and you can help further their legacy by donating tonight. Graduate students are selected on the basis of their coursework, financial need, and GPA. If you care to contribute, your pledge will help these extraordinary students.
This year, OperaLex lost a very dear member of our community. Ellen Rice was a champion for music in every possible way. She was a true advocate for the arts, and the work she did to support, encourage, strengthen the Lexington artistic community was amazing. OperaLex is honored to announce the creation of the Ellen Rice Service Award in her honor. The first recipient of this award is another artistic pillar in this society, founder of UK Opera Theatre and Lexington Singers, Phyllis Jeunesse. Unfortunately, Phyllis passed away this March at the age of 97, and what an incredible legacy she left. We now turn to talk with the people who knew these women best. Ellen's mother, Angela Rice, and Phyllis's wife and companion of more than 30 years, Dr. Lori White, and Ellen's great friend, Becky Eblin. Hello, and thank you all for being here.
Well, first of all, thank you, Everett and Sandy, for saying such wonderful things about Ellen. It chokes me up just a bit to hear these wonderful things about her, because she was timid and humble, and she never spoke of these things to me. She just kept it to herself and was this quiet servant. And then at her visitation, it all came towards me from the community, from OperaLex, from the library, from her fitness group. She had friends I didn't know she had. And that is so meaningful to me, the connection she made and what people thought of her, and that I wasn't so aware. I often wish I knew so that I could have told her, "You're doing a wonderful job, Ellen." And I wish now that I had been able to really tell her how fabulous she was and how valuable she was and how competent, because she just wouldn't talk about those things, but she would show her joy. She was so happy when meetings were coming up for OperaLex. I don't think she would have gone out of town if you had a meeting. She wouldn't want to miss one. And she looked forward to it all day. And then she came home and she felt wonderful to be a part of the team. It meant so much to her to be liked and part of this OperaLex team.
I remember talking to Ellen one time, and it was after a meeting, and she came up and she said, "I just want to thank you." And I was like, "No, I want to thank you."
Exactly.
Because, you know, she was so quiet, and yet I said to her one time, "Ellen, you have probably secured 80%, if not 90%, of the Encore auction items. How do you do that? I want to know." And she said, you know, with that smile that she has, she says, "Well, I just go up and I just asked. And I guess Becky, you had to help her with all of those auction items to get that, get them all cataloged and get them ready for OperaLex.
That's right. I coordinate and the display, and I just got to know Ellen a couple of years ago. I worked on 3 encores with her. And you're right, 2/3 at least, if not more, of those items. And even this year with our virtual encore, we're going to have about half the number of items we usually have. But she had already secured half of those before she passed in early February. And she just started working in January.
Wow.
Ellen was fearless. You know, she would ask anybody and everybody. And I'm not sure anybody ever turned her down.
Well, the award could not be going to a better person than Phyllis Janess. Phyllis was just a force in this community. And she was
like you.
well, look, I'm trying to walk in her shoes because you know, Lori, a lot of people don't know that Phyllis walked to school just about every day. And
Yep.
I was so impressed with that, the fact that she just, I mean, and she taught, I guess, up to almost the end. Is that correct?
Yes, she walked 2 miles to 2 miles from every day, rain or shine. Other faculty would say, let me pick you up. Nope. She had her backpack. But before that, she would get up and run and meditate and vocalize. And she'd say her day would be shot if she wasn't in the office by 7 a.m. And then she'd do opera or Lexington singers.
Yes.
And then they'd all go out to Saratoga and have a few drinks. She only needed like 4 or 5 hours sleep a night.
That's amazing.
She
That
loved every minute of
yes.
UK, of music, opera, choir, you name it.
Yeah.
And to the week before she passed, she was teaching classes and loving to be with students. So she found the right profession.
Thank you all for doing this and for being involved and taking a little time to talk about Ellen and Phyllis.
Thank you all for sharing them with us.
They will certainly not be forgotten.
my Christine, my Christine, lost and gone, lost and gone. The day starts, the day ends, time crawls by, night steals in, pacing the floor. The moments creep, yet I can't bear to sleep till I hear you sing. And weeks pass and months pass, seasons fly, still you don't walk through my door. And in a haze I count the silent days till I hear you sing once more. And sometimes in darkness I dream that you are there, but wake holding nothing but the cold night air. And years come and years go, time runs dry, still I ache down to my core. My broken soul can't be alive or whole till I hear you sing once more. And music, your music, it teases at my ear. I turn and it fades away, and you're not here. Let hope pass, let dreams pass, let them die. Without you, what are they for? I always feel no more than halfway real until I hear you sing once
Them that's got shall get, them that's not shall lose. For the Bible said, and it still is news. Mama may have, Papa may have, but God bless the child that's got his own. That's got his own. Yes, the strong gets more while the weak ones fade. Empty pockets don't ever make the grade. Mama may have, Papa may have, but God bless the child that's got his own. That's got his own. crust and bread and such. You can have yourself, but don't take too much. Mama may have, Papa may have, but God bless the child that's got his own, that's got his own. Rich relations give crust of bread and such. You can have yourself, but don't take too much. Mama may have, Papa may have, but God bless the child that's got his own, that's got his own.
Tonight's event is dedicated to the memory of former OperaLex board member Ellen Rice.
Well, we've come to the end of our time together. Thank you for joining us tonight and the previous 2 evenings. I hope you were moved, entertained, and educated about the incredible operatic talent that is abundant in our community and UKOT's global reach.
And Sandy, I want to thank you especially for not only being a great friend, but all of the work that you have done to support the students. I want to thank our community for being involved with this program, the faculty, and of course, our tremendous students. So thank you all so much, and thank you for investing in our students.
Thank you for joining us for our final night of virtual Encore. Thank you to our sponsors for this event. This would not be possible without your support.